The first question I had to answer for almost all these investors, maybe all of them, is what's the internet? And which was very normal at that time. Most people didn't really know what was going on with the internet or what the World Wide Web was.
While many people use the terms Internet and World Wide Web interchangeably, the two are not synonymous. The Internet connects small computer networks to larger networks, and finally to a global system of computer networks around the world. The World Wide Web, better known as the web, is a system of interlinked computer documents that are accessed via the Internet. While the web is a large portion of the Internet is also used for email, instant messaging, and file transfer. The development of the Internet began in 1969, when the U.S. government's Advanced Research Projects Agency connected 4 of its research computers together through a 56K line. 21 years later, in the fall of 1990, there were 313,000 computers connected on the Internet. But the U.S. government restricted the use of this primitive Internet to research purposes only. And unlike the graphics-laden environment we take for granted today, the screen interface was a blank slate that required expert knowledge of text command. The World Wide Web changed all that. While working at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, British scientist Tim Berners-Lee saw the need for a user-friendly system for sharing information across the Internet. By combining hypertext, computer documents that link together, with the Internet, Berners-Lee created the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP, and coined the term World Wide Web. And in the winter of 1990, he built the 3 tools necessary for a working web. The first web server, or Internet computer, a web browser or software application used to surf the web, and web pages, which describe the project. On August 6, 1991, Berners-Lee decided to give the World Wide Web free to the public so that it would continue to grow, revolutionizing the way we use computers and communicate. So how is it that you can access billions of web pages online with just the click of a mouse? When you enter a URL or address in your web browser, it points to a specific web page on a web server. Routers direct the request from your computer across the network to the web server and then send the information back to display the web page. And some advanced routers today can run at a capacity of up to 92 terabits per second. That's 2 billion times faster than the original 56K line of 1969. Although 7 out of every 10 Americans use the Internet, North America ranks 3rd behind Asia and Europe in web traffic. By June 2007, more than 1 billion people, or about 17% of the world population, had used the Internet.
Imagine when that number grows to 50% or 80% or 90% of the global population sharing their lives, sharing experience, sharing knowledge, sharing information. It fundamentally changes how we are as a society.
While the web browser was the gateway to a world of information, you still needed to know the web address to access it. So what if you didn't know the address? Enter Google. Google is a so-called crawler-based search engine that can direct you to pertinent websites by crawling the web and sorting through its increasingly massive amounts of information.
Information on the Internet is growing at such an amazing rate that in about 3 years, it's anticipated that it will double every 11 hours.
So what happens when you use Google to search 90s pop star Britney Spears? The Google search engine uses spiders that crawl the web, scanning each web page on a regular basis. This data is entered into an index, much like the index of a book. When you enter a search query, Google software sifts through the index and ranks the matches, returning results in order of relevance. And in this case, you get more than 49 million results in just 0.04 seconds. That's because Google has countless computers clustered around the world, working in tandem to scour their index. But this popular site wasn't always so expansive.
As you can see, it says the index contains about 25 million pages, and that was big for that time. And now we have billions and billions of pages.
Founded by two Stanford University students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Google launched in September 1998.
Google, G-O-O-G-O-L, is a very large number. It is the digit 1 followed by 100 zeros. And Google is a play on the word Google to depict our mission of capturing and organizing large and vast amounts of information.
Though Google won't release the amount of servers it has today, some industry experts estimate there may be as many as 450,000. But back in 1998, Google had just 30 server racks like this one. Each rack held 80 computers running on Intel Pentium 2 chips. Since their data center charged by the square foot, they crammed the computers in 4 to a shelf. By the end of 1998, Google was answering 10,000 search queries each day. Just 2 years later, that number had grown to 100 million.